Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is just a runaway princess hiding in a forest with a bunch of midgets. Pinocchio is just a puppet trying to be good. Fantasia is just a compilation of really old music with animated characters dancing and are moving to it. Dumbo is just a baby elephant who gets made fun of all the time. Bambi is just the misadventures of a miserable deer trying to deal with hunters. Saludos Amigos is just some animator's research project of Brazil. The Three Caballeros is just a trio of poultry in a sing-along video without any actual subtitles. Bongo Bear is just a famous runaway bear who has to deal with the real world. Mickey and the Beanstalk is just some peasants who go fight a giant. The Wind in the Willows is just a toad who gets a brand new car. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow is just a tall guy who doesn't want to lose his head. Cinderella is just a slave girl being pestered by her three masters. Alice in Wonderland is just a British girl on psychedelics wandering around an open-world asylum. Peter Pan is just some kids flying around with an alien. Lady and the Tramp is just a house dog running around with a stray dog. Sleeping Beauty is just some girl who sings and lives most of her life in a forest. 101 Dalmatians is just a bunch of dogs trying to escape an old hag. The Sword and the Stone is just a tween boy taking lessons from a wizard. The Jungle Book is just a stubborn boy who won't leave the place where he grew up. The Aristocats is just some lost cats wandering around Paris. Robin Hood is just an infamous archer fighting a man-child prince. The Rescuers is just a couple of mice searching for a girl in a swamp. The Fox and the Hound is just a fox running away from a hunter. The Black Cauldron is just a British boy and his friends fighting a living skeleton. The Great Mouse Detective is just a mouse fighting a rat. The Brave Little Toaster is just a bunch of living household objects searching for their owner. Oliver and Company is just a kitten living with a poor guy and his dogs. The Little Mermaid is just a teenager from underwater who explores the surface. Beauty and the Beast is just a woman who lives in a castle with a hairy animal. Aladdin is just a poor guy trying to improve his life with magic. The Lion King is just a lazy bum who ran away from his home as a kid. Pocahontas is just a woman trying to deal with illegal aliens. The Hunchback of Notre Dame is just an ugly guy who can't get out of a church. Hercules is just a strong guy trying to be famous by doing unusual favors for others. Mulan is just a young woman pretending to be something she's not. Tarzan is just some British people exploring the jungle with a guy who talks to animals. The Emperor's New Groove is just a rich guy and a poor guy trying to get back home. Atlantis the Lost Empire is just a bunch of people taking a trip in a submarine. Treasure Planet is just a young guy and a bunch of aliens flying in a ship through outer space. Chicken Little is just a rooster and his friends who find an alien before its family starts an invasion. Meet the Robinsons is just a kid who gets his future spoiled for him. Bolt is just a delusional dog trying to get home with a cat and a hamster. The Princess and the Frog is just a cook and a prince trying to deal with a curse. Tangled is just a young woman experiencing the outside world for the first time. Wreck-It Ralph is just a guy who breaks things trying to better his life. Frozen is just a superpowered girl who can't control her own powers. Big Hero 6 is just a teen boy genius teaching a robot how to be a superhero. Zootopia is just a rabbit and a fox trying to deal with racism. Moana is just a girl and a strong guy cruising on a sailboat. Oliver and Company is just a kitten and a poor guy living with his dogs. Beauty and the Beast is just a woman who lives in a castle with a hairy animal.